And 3, 2, 1. Hey, welcome to the Back and Forth Show. Welcome to another great week of topics. I'm your co-host, Kevin, and this is my other co-host,
Chanel.
Yes, it's Chanel. And boy, do we have some good topics for you this week. I got a question for you. What would you do if somebody was trying to run your house when they don't even live there anymore and thinking they have say-so? Let's go. All right. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1. All right, everybody. Welcome, everybody, again. Man, it is good to be back talking to you all for another week about this co-parenting, these blended parenting, these step parenting, these bonus parenting, these village parenting.
Yes.
I don't know. We got another one. We can probably make up another one, but every week we've been adding one almost. So Chanel. Man, it's good to be here. How are you doing?
I'm great. It's a great week. Best day of my life. Once again, we're here. What did you say this morning? We are here for another day. What was that song you were singing?
You're not gonna try. You're trying to get me to sing on camera again, and I'm not gonna do it. I see what you're trying to do there. I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to get me to sing, and I'm not gonna try to. I'm not.
The Hezekiah Walker song you were singing earlier today.
So glad to be alive.
So glad. See, sing it. Just give it to the people.
No, because if you start singing, you're gonna laugh at me. And I know what you're trying to do. You're not trying to embarrass me. The show just started, Chanel. Usually you wait till we get into the show before you try to embarrass me. It's the beginning of the show.
Hyping today. It's all this hype today.
You just go ahead and tell people how you doing.
I'm great. I'm glad to be alive. I wish Kev would sing the Hezekiah Walker song, but other than that, I'm glad to be alive. How was your week?
Hey, it is a great week for me. I'm glad to be alive.
Woo! There we go.
No, we're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. But hey, I'm happy to be here again another week doing this for you all. And man, you know what, Chanel, I don't want to waste too much time because we've got some good topics this week. And I want to start off with this. I received an email. What was it? Email? Text message. Yeah, text message from one of the people who viewed our show, and they sent me a text message, DM, whatever you want to call it. And so I'm going to read it just to get us started here.
Okay. Well, first of all, before you do that, make sure everybody like and subscribe. I mean, they need to make sure that they get notified of all this tea that we spill every week.
Yes, Chanel. Make sure that people are out there. Make sure we let people know that, hey, hit that like and subscribe and notification button so when we put new content out there, just like Chanel just said, because she tried to derail me. I appreciate her so much for keeping us on track and topic. So make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and notification button so when we put out this content. The shows come on every Wednesday, so they're going to be every Wednesday. We're going to put out 9:00 Eastern Standard Time. The videos will be dropping, so just be on the lookout for those. But so while I do that, I'm going to go ahead and just jump into this first topic here, Chanel, so she stopped me here. Here we go.
Oh, here we go with it. Why?
So
why is it that your eyes just all of a sudden change when the glasses come on?
I'm just going to read this comment, this message here. Okay. It says, so check this out. Me and my ex have not been together for almost 8 years. We have a joint custody agreement in place, and I thought that communication was going well and everything seemed fine. Then all of a sudden, when she got remarried, I guess, now anything that I want to buy or do with our child above what's required, she tells me that she has to discuss it with her husband. So now I'm stuck with trying to figure out, do I contact him prior to making any arrangements, or what do I do? Because I know this is our child. I understand that she is married and I want to respect that. But for her to say that every time I want to do something for our child, that she has to go through her husband, I just don't think that sounds right. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it sounds a little fishy. I don't know that, first of all, thank God pettiness is not going to be in heaven. Okay. Because it sounds a little petty here.
Wait a minute. Wait, before you get started. You jump right off the bat. You said, thank God pettiness is not going to be in heaven. I'm going to timestamp that one. Thank God pettiness is not going to be in heaven. Proceed. Proceed.
Because people on here on earth just be petty. Like, we got to stop this pettiness. The thing is, I really feel from hearing you read this post or this email or text that now she wants it to be known that there's a new chief in town. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were running things before, but you ain't running things no more. And I'm gonna let you know that every single time that you want to be a good father, that there's another chief that we gotta, that you need to be accountable to. And I honestly feel that, you both are adults, you both are parents, to this child. Mm-hmm. And if the father wants to do something that's going to benefit the child, who is he to say no? You see what I'm saying? Now we got to go back to it being about the child. If this father says, okay, hey, I have there's a, what is it? Disney on Ice is in town. Mm-hmm. So I know this isn't my weekend, but I want to take her to Disney on Ice and, we could switch weekends.
Okay.
Why do you need to go tell your husband? Or, I get you need to have the discussion with your husband, but that's between you and your husband. But why you need to tell him every time that he wants to make different arrangements or do something for the child? Oh, I got to talk to my husband. We already know you're going to do that. That's your marriage. Mm-hmm. Maybe if you was talking to your husband before, y'all would have still been, maybe if you was talking to him before, y'all wouldn't be in this situation. But once again, I'm not going to throw. You see how I get petty too.
You just said you thank God that pettiness is not going to be in heaven, and what you just said.
But shade might be in heaven though. Shade might be in heaven. Shade might be in heaven. Maybe that's not pettiness, but shade might be in heaven. So I'm gonna throw a little bit of shade because this is the thing that one of the things that burns my grits is that you moved on, okay? But why do you got to keep throwing it up? We know you moved on. You don't have to keep throwing that up. We get that you got to discuss stuff, which is how a marriage works. You discuss things and you come to an agreement. All you need to say is, okay, that sounds good. Let me just get back with you, make sure we don't have any plans. But I think that should be okay. That's the appropriate thing to say. Mm-hmm. Now this man feels as though someone else. It's like we got to report to somebody else to parent our child. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. What you think?
Well, I'm gonna come back here and play contrarian again because I got to play the contrarian because I want to look at it from this standpoint. It's obvious that just based on the message that the child lives with the mother and her husband. Mm-hmm. I don't know what their agreement is, but it says anytime he wants to do anything above and beyond what needs to be done, she needs to discuss it with her husband. So maybe she's learned something from her first relationship with him that she wants to involve her husband now in anything that has to do with the child, since the child lives with them. Mm-hmm. We never know what's going on behind closed doors. We never know what kind of conversations have been had or what's been done and said in the past. We only get this snapshot in time of what we see on this message. And so, yes, it sounds weird. It sounds funny that she would have to go contact the husband every time he wants to do anything above and beyond what's they agreed to. And I saw a post probably like a week or two ago where someone said that if the parent wants to do something for that child, let them. Mm-hmm. Man, let's pump the brakes on that a little bit. Because let's say you have a parent who may be well-to-do, has money and everything, and the other parent who has a child, who live with a child, they're well off, but everything. But the other parent wants to buy this child motorcycles, little scooters, little high price ticket items and stuff like that. And you would hope that they have a conversation, say, hey, I'm planning on buying so-and-so this. Is that okay? Does he have one already? Or does he or she have one already? You have a conversation. And it's the communication piece that I always look at, because if he wants to do something extra for the child and he's communicating it with her, he's doing his part. If she feels that she needs to talk to the husband, then so be it. But you said something that was key. You said she could say, let me think about it for a moment and I'll get back with you, instead of saying, let me speak to my husband about it, because it's the way it was relayed to him. Mm-hmm. This father is feeling some kind of way right now, because he's saying, hey, that's my child. Mm-hmm. Now, we made this child together, and I understand. He even said he respects that, he wants to respect their marriage. But the conversation we need to be having is a conversation we need to have about our child, not him. Right. Yeah. Yes. He's providing everything he's done, and he's probably grateful for that. But it's almost like you're chipping away at a piece of this man's fatherhood every time you say that. Chink, just tinking away at it. And I don't think sometimes we realize the words that come out of our mouth, the damage that it does. Like you said, there's death and life in the tongue. Life and death. Life, I said it was right. Life and death in the tongue. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we don't realize how much power we wield with our tongues. Mm-hmm. Some people do know, though. That's the thing. And does she really know what she's doing?
I just want to say it's petty.
So I mean, that's how I look at it.
You got to say that every time. And like you said, it's chipping away at his manhood, fatherhood. Because it's like we got to get permission from this man that has no, you know what I mean? Not saying that he don't have no responsibility to this child, but the reality is you two are the parents. Yes. Why are we going to get permission? Mm-hmm. And so you got to be careful with that. That's why blended families are so challenging, because you got to be careful with that thing. Yes. Because we're trying to all be respectful, because we're trying to get through these 18 plus years, peacefully, and then, move on as these children are adults. Yeah. But during the time when they're minors, you just got to be mindful and considerate. Be considerate. That's the word. Be considerate of the other co-parent, if you want that co-parenting relationship to be effective.
That sounds like the golden rule, huh?
Considerate?
No, do unto
treating
others.
Yes. Yes. Doing unto others, yes. Because here's the thing. We talked a few weeks ago about the little girlfriend. Every time he brought up, my wife this, my wife that, my girlfriend this, my girlfriend that, or whatever, how would that make her feel? Yeah. She would feel like, I'm replaced. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So stop it. Just stop the pettiness.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it from this standpoint too. You have agreements in place, and stuff's in black and white. You've been to court possibly, and you have something down. And we know that as time goes on, we have to adjust. Are we going back to court every time to make the adjustments? Or are we going to have a conversation with each other to adjust that? Because obviously in this case right here, we don't know if they got like joint legal custody, but we know the child must live with the mother the way they speak. But I think you have something for us when it was talking about two parents seeking different type of custodies, and how those things could, how one could see it from another standpoint. If one person has a different type of custody, how they may feel that they're in more control than the other one. And I think you got something for us on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have Safaree. I guess he's a star on Love and Hip Hop. Is seeking joint legal custody of his infant daughter Sapphire and his second baby due next month, after finding out his estranged wife Eva Mena filed for primary custody. So I did a little bit more research just to kind of find out what was actually going on. Back in May, there was a report saying that she filed for joint custody. once again, that may have changed.
Yes.
because people get in their feelings about things, and I'm going to take control of the situation and file for primary, file for primary custody or file for permanent sole custody, because they're mad at you, not because you're not a great father, but because they don't want to have anything to do with you. So the child shouldn't have anything to do with you.
Yeah.
And I find that happening once again. People, they get in their feelings and they do petty stuff and not even consider the child and how this is going to affect the child. Let's just say the court was just being just as petty as she was and gave her primary sole custody.
Wow.
Now this child is going to grow up without a father because you mad at him. He could be a great dad.
Yeah.
He may not have been a great husband. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the details of their relationship. I don't do love and hip hop, shout out to those that do, but I don't. But he may be an excellent father. And from the looks of things and just looking at his Instagram and looking at his socials, and I know, sometimes people do stuff for the gram, but looking at his socials, it looks like, he loves his kids and he likes, he's an involved, hands-on father. And so I don't know what the reason would be for seeking, sole custody if he's a hands-on father, What you think?
Well, there's different reasons why people do different things. I'm going to coin that one. The reason I say it is because of this. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors, whether it was infidelity, whether it was some kind of abuse or whatever. And there's different reasons why people file different type of custodies. Some parents work out their issues and they do joint legal custody and joint physical custody. Child goes to the one parent's house half of the week, one parent's house the other half of the week. And we got to realize there's this one word out there, and it's called control. And if I can control the issue, control what goes on, I still have power.
Yes.
If you have sole custody of our child, I have nothing. I have no skin in the game. All I am is just a father on paperwork, and I have to abide by these court rules. I shouldn't say father, I should say parent, because it could be a mother or the father who has one or the other. And so we have to be careful about the things we do now, because I just because you got divorced or separated or moved on from another parent, the child didn't get divorced, separated, or moved on from another parent. Those children are tied. You are both tied to those children now for the rest of your lives. And what you do now can have an effect in the future. And if you're living your life through social media, what you do today on social media, 10 years from now will still be there.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to be careful. We think we're doing stuff now. We, like you say, doing stuff for the gram, but it's just not you that is seeing that, because other people are seeing that. And you grow up one day, your child grows up and says, "This is your parents?" And they start pointing to stuff, and the child has no idea what they're talking about. And you looking 10 years in the past or 12 years in the past, and something was said or done, and it could have an effect on someone. So,
absolutely,
we have to. Why are we filing for these different type of custody agreements? Is it because you feel the other parent is not worthy or not suited to be a joint parent, or is a person not suited to be a parent or be a parent altogether around that child? Because that's why I say we don't, and that's why we put it in the hands of the courts. And sometimes they say the worst thing we can do is put that into the hands of a judge, because the judge is going to go by like the mediator, what the mediator says. You have to go through a mediator before it goes to the judge. You're going to take the mediator's statement. We're going to go with this and we're going to run with it. And you could have been on your best behavior, said the right words, and it could have sounded phony, or the person could have painted you in a bad light. And now you lose custody of your child, or you only have certain type of custody of your child. And now, how does that make you feel? And so I think we need to work together as parents to be able to work these things out. And sometimes this thing has to do with child support, and we know it. I was trying to get away from that. Sometimes it's about money, and we know it's about the money, because somebody wants to get money and establish themselves in a certain way or live a certain lifestyle. And is it truly about the children? That's the question we always come back to. Is it truly about the children?
Yeah. You know, it's the other part, the other piece to that, you know, because there's only so much the courts can really, you know, there's three parts to a story, right? Three sides, the her side, his side, and the truth. And, you know, the courts, I personally feel that the courts are diligent with the information that they have and the amount of information that they're working with. You know, they only got so much information that they're working with. You have the guardian ad litem, which is usually the advocate for the child that is trained for the manipulation that can happen in mediation. You know, that's trained for, you know, okay, what you know, you're going to say all these bad things because you got a motive for saying all these bad things. You know what I'm saying? So they're trained to look and see past that because they're the advocate or the voice for the child. And they are responsible for making a decision to make sure that that child is not in harm's way. So, you know, like I said, at the end of the day, no, I wouldn't. If you're two adults, I feel that you should work out these issues. You know, definitely have something on paper to start with, but, you know, so folks can be accountable. But for the most part, to just solely leave it to the hands of a judge or a jury, especially if it's a divorce case, you never know what investigators are going to find, what's going to come out, you know, in the medias. You don't know what's going to come, especially if you have any type of influence, what's going to be on your permanent record, you know, and whatever is said on the record is going to be on your record. I can go and find it, you know, so if you choose to go down that route, and this is just for some of you that are considering this, if you choose to go down that route and you choose not to do mediation or to comply with mediation, everything you say on the record, everything that is brought out, evidence brought out on the record, that's going to be on your record.
Question. Oh, so Lord, you brought up a good point, because when we start talking about social media and stuff, people doing stuff for the gram, I think sometimes parents forget that everything you post on social media can and probably will be used against you.
Yes.
And so you have to be careful what you're posting out there. I just saw a video of a lady who was on the video dancing in front of the camera while her child went behind her onto the couch and pulled out a gun. Toddler, probably about 2 or 3 years old. And you saw somebody run into the camera shot and pull the gun, take the gun from the child. You see, sometimes we're so busy, get caught up on social media that we forget about the child
in the background.
And that one video could cause that person to lose that child. And we don't realize how much influence social media has on how much part it can play in the raising of our children and what happens in their future. Oh, you know, it was just as simple as that. It was just that quick. And she's in front of the camera dancing, doing her thing. And then the child went back there and boom, pull out a gun. So you tell me if I have to go talk to the courts, if I go to go talk to a mediator and I say, you can pull here, I got receipts. Now what? So how is that going to look in the eyes of the court when you're sitting there trying to file for whatever type of custody you're trying to file for?
That's the leverage. And that's why mediation, if you could work it out in mediation, that's not a part of your record. Yeah. If you can work it out in mediation, but if not, yes, we'll take it to court. Yeah. And there's attorneys that will not, they don't mind going to court. They really don't mind going to court, because the thing is, if you're trying to get a high profile job or you know, anything that has to do, they can pull all of that stuff. And you don't know who's going to be reading it to determine whether or not you get this job, whether or not you get this position. You might decide one day you want to run for city council. You know what I'm saying? So you just never know where life will take you. And so you just really got to be mindful of the stuff that's why it kind of all goes back to communication, Kev. Yeah. Because it all kind of goes back to, because you don't know what your future is going to bring or what that's going to look like. You may be dating somebody that wants to do a background check, a full, complete background check, and they read your whole divorce proceedings. that can cost you that relationship.
Oh, you know, and of
course that's I tell my girls that or my ladies that all the time. You need to do, because this man may have several priors, and he could be sweet as pie to you right now, but he got a history.
Yeah.
That's his history. You can't deny that.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you know, we think that just because I always go back to that those couple of minutes or however long it took to make this child, you're stuck with this person. You're literally stuck with this person, at least from the legal standpoint, till the child's 18 years old, whether they go off to college or whatever's in your agreement, you have to pay for college. But the two of you are stuck together for at least a minimum of 18 years.
Yes.
You know, one of my daughters is 28 and she's about to get married. And we're still, still paying for that because that's a marriage. So, you say 18, I'm cut off. No, actually, it's not. You're stuck with the other parent. You're literally stuck with the other parent for as long as this child. When you start having grandkids, you're still going to be stuck with the other parent because you're both grandparents now.
Yes.
You all have to be in the same place at the same time. You're still stuck with each other. Yes. So it doesn't just end when you break up and move on. It doesn't just end. And
be careful who you have kids with.
Yeah. Or you got to be careful because you never know what kind of issue that person may have, because they still might think they can control things even when they're not there. Which brings us to our hot topic.
Okay.
Look at you segueing. Look at you. You brought that thing.
Look at my co-host.
I am thoroughly shocked. You brought that thing around. Look at you.
No, that was all you, Ken. That was all you.
Let me tell y'all about this hot topic that we have here today. Let me put my other glasses on today.
Okay. How many pairs of glasses do you have, sir?
That's not. We're not going to put my business out there on the streets. I got glasses with different outfits. And these are real too. These are real glasses. So here, check this out. Check this out, y'all. We got another message that came to us, and it said this. This is a good one. Mm-hmm. It says, my ex thinks that just because he's the father of our child, that he can dictate what goes on in my house. Don't you spit that out. He has told me that any disciplining of our daughter will be discussed between the two of us, and that my husband will have no say-so in the matter. I've told him that when she visits him, that he is welcome to discipline her as he sees fit. But when she is in our house, that she expects the same respect, but he is not having that and has threatened us legally if his request is not met. This just seems a little ridiculous, seeing as how my husband loves our daughter and has never raised his voice towards her or even spanked her. I'm at a loss for words here. That's what she said.
Yeah.
What you got on that one, Chanel?
Boundaries. Oh my goodness.
Just saying.
That's the reason why she's not with him. Let me tell you that. I'm just gonna tell you. That's the reason why she's not with him. He's too controlling. Like, I get now. I will say this. I'm a back up for a minute. Mm-hmm. So when my son's father and I got divorced, and we, were raising our son, we had a discussion, or we kind of recapped on a discussion because he was small when we divorced, on discipline, how we thought about discipline, and then just how we continue to matriculate that process as he got older. But we've always been in agreement that as far as physical discipline, we would only be the ones to do that. No outside person will physically discipline him, right?
Yes.
I get that. But as far as just discipline in general, like, I would hope that he will be with someone that's smart enough to understand that there's more than just physical discipline. Mm-hmm. Okay. So yes. I don't need to be concerned about how is she disciplining him, or is she disciplining him? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes.
And then of course, after I met her, we connected or whatever. Over time, she trusted me enough to call and say, hey, Chanel, this is what's going on, and, as kids get older, they're going to try it.
Yes.
Especially if they realize, oh, she don't got that kind of power like my mama does. They gonna keep trying. So we just got really creative with the discipline. But there's no way that I'm going to use, or my son's father is going to use some level of control so that my son becomes a brat. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to wait till we get there to discipline, or we got to run something by. I got to run something by him to discipline. I don't got to run nothing by you to discipline him. If he disrespected me, I'm gonna discipline him. I don't need to run nothing by his dad to discipline him. Ever, whether we was together or not together. Like, who does that? You do that, Kev?
I'm laughing because I got an image in my mind right now. I got an image, and it's right here. Can you imagine the power that a child would have if that father told his daughter, if he raises his voice at you or he tries to hit you, you tell me. And that child says this: "You're not my daddy." And my daddy said, if you talk to me any kind of way, then I'm supposed to call and tell him, you can't touch me. You imagine how much power you give that child. It's almost like if you're familiar with the show, the TV show called Game of Thrones with little Joffrey, that child was a brat and then he became king. And if you can't discipline a child when they're smaller, and now they know that no one can tell them what to do, and they become old and they get power. Oh,
that's crazy.
I'm looking at it from that standpoint.
You subconsciously giving them power.
Yeah,
saying that.
Yeah, and we know children can manipulate a situation.
Yes,
they will twist and turn it. My daddy said, "You can't tell me what to do. You can't talk to me that way." And the dad might not have said that, but the child took it that way and said, "My daddy said you can't talk to me like that." And now that causes strife between the husband and the wife now. Like, okay, if I can't.
And the two dads, they might be in there at blows in the middle of the street.
That was me. I was there. I lived it.
You was throwing blows in the middle of the street, Ken?
No, ma'am. I don't. No, I'm a lover, not a fighter. That's not the title of the show either. We're not going to name that the title of the show. But no, what I was saying was, well, when you have, we had 6 kids all together, and when you have a father of a child who wants to have say so, but he's not in my household, and I tell you to do something and you don't do it. And then all of a sudden I come home and it's still not done. And I'm wondering why it's not done. And you're on the phone with your father. And I'm like, whoa. This should have been taken care of a while back. Now we got something that's going to happen because of this. And you need to let your dad know that you're supposed to do something. And that's why I'm talking to you like this right now. And then the dad gets upset and feels some kind of way. And he wants to come have a conversation. We want to talk with our hands. No, we're not going to talk with our hands. I'm running this stuff here in this household. This is me and my wife's household, and there are rules, and we have to abide by them. You don't live here. You don't have say so in this household, because last time I checked, you're not putting in on none of these bills. You're not putting in on there's air, there's gas, there's light. You ain't putting in on none of that. I don't need your money, because everything here is okay. And that other parent right there in this situation, that father might be saying the same thing. He might be like, the stepdad may be saying, "Hey, hold on a minute. If so-and-so does this, I need to make sure we can't," it's almost like if you let something linger and a child does something and you don't correct it at the time, the child can move on and be like, "Well, I got away with it before. You let me do it the last time." And so we have to be proactive as parents and not reactive all the time. I can't sit here and wait for another parent, another dad, or my wife to call the father now so we can either discipline this child because something just happened. If something happens at school, I'm not going to be trying to call every time.
Absolutely no.
Come on, we got to be reasonable here. We have to be the adults here. We have to be reasonable. And I'm not talking about putting hands on somebody. No, we're not talking about that. I'm talking about administering. If somebody does something wrong, they get in school and they get in trouble, you might put on punishment. Yeah, you might not have your iPad, or you might not look at TV for a week. You might not be able to go outside for a week. I'm not calling some other dude to tell, "Hey, this is what happened, so we think about doing this punishment. Is that okay with you?"
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Because here's the other piece, Kev. Because again, if you're not presenting a united front with that child, y'all can have y'all beef behind closed doors and they don't got to know about it.
Yeah.
one of the things I do appreciate about my son's bonus mom or stepmom, whatever you want to call her, is this. We always presented a united front in terms of when it came to discipline. There will be times where I will be over there and, you know, there's certain things, certain ways he ain't gonna talk to me. You know, he just ain't gonna talk, but I don't run that house over there.
Yes.
So when he's over there, he'll be talking to her like she one of his little friends. And I just be like, sir, let me pull you to the side here. Cause you can't do this in front of me without me just like rising up and, you know. But and then she'll look at me like, Chanel, he does this all the time. Like I can't get him to respect me. I said, girl, let me just give you. Then it opens up the door. Like, okay, girl, let me just show you how this is done. You know. I blame the dad because he has to enforce that at his house. But again, that's not my house.
That's your house.
But she was asking me for help. Like, you know, he don't do that. No, girl, no, ma'am. He don't talk to me that way. He already know. Like I'm over here itching because he's talking to you like that.
And I mean, and you've got a valid point there because sometimes we have you trying to step into somebody else's household, but I always told my kids this: I'm not your friend. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I know I hear people say that, you know, my child, I'm my child. It's my best friend. No. I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend because you're not gonna come out the side of your mouth talking to me any kind of way like you talk to your friend. You're not gonna be dude.
Bruh.
That's a trigger point. That's a trigger point. I'm like, hold on a minute. Somebody that gave you life.
You all of a sudden get Tourette.
Yeah, you start twitching your eyes and stuff like that. You know, you mess around and be sitting here and talking to your child and called you, bruh. You sitting there like this, bruh. You like, bruh, I ain't your bruh. You know, I flat out told my kid that a long time ago. Don't come out your mouth sideways on me like that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, give me the respect that's due because somebody got to put his roof over your head, and unless you putting the roof over our head and paying our bill, then you don't have.
You still ain't gonna call me bruh.
Oh, hey, I'm almost about to turn 50, and my mom, you know, I still respect my mom. I'm not gonna say anything outside of my mouth to my mom.
Okay.
I'm like, and I'm way taller than my mom. I'm bigger than my mom. I'm not gonna. No, that's the respect that's due. I mean, I'm not doing that. I never call my mom, hey, girl.
No. When that whole bruh thing came out, my son, he was like, bruh. I said, bro, we're going to stop that with the buh. Okay? Yeah. We're going to stop it right now. I am not one of your little friends.
No. We got to have the respect. And just like we asked that respect from our child, we should be asking the same respect from that other parent. Respect your house. Respect my house. This is my house. I run this. You're not paying nothing up in here. And your little, I'm about to say, your little child support ain't doing nothing for my bills. Ain't doing nothing for my bills. So I'm just saying, we got to put things in their place. Like you said at the beginning, boundaries.
Yes.
Everything has a place, and that does not belong in my household. I'll respect you. I'll let you know what's going on, but you'll not be sitting there calling the shots. Not in here. We can't be.
Not at all.
Yeah. So Chanel, I don't know how you did it, but you did it again. You gave us another great week of topics. I mean, you be on it. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it, but I'll tell you what. No. But let these people know how they can get in contact with you and what you got going on.
Yes. So definitely you can get in contact with me. The Instagram link below, but also my website is below in the description. But you can also, go and after, of course, you subscribe, make sure that you go to our website at www.pricesandbeyond.org, and you can find all of my resources over there. I have ebooks, I have workbooks, I have courses, I have all kind of stuff over there to help you just navigate through life abundantly so that you could be the most effective parent you could be. I mean, because I know you got it in you. Got it in you. So yeah, that's how you can find me. So Kev.
Yes.
Take us home. Where are we going to find you?
Oh, you told me take us home, then where can I find you? So you want me to take people home and then tell them where I can find them? I'm gonna let them out the car.
I want you to tell me where I can find you and then take us home.
Okay, because I thought you want to take them, drop them off out the car, then I tell them where they can find me, because by that time they're gone. And then,
No, tell us where we can find you, then take us home.
Tell us where we can find you. Okay, so.
You need your glasses?
No, I'm good. No, so you can find me, put a link here on my Instagram site here, down here. And in the Instagram site, you will be able to see, go to my bio. You can click on my website, go to my website. That's www.teambyw.com. Why did I just put www in front of that? Sounds so old. So, yeah, at least I admitted it. But you can find me there. You can see what.
You were trying to admit it a couple days ago, but go ahead.
See, you can see what I have to offer. And excuse my co-host. Sometimes she doesn't respect the boundaries. See my bubble, my square here, my bubble here. This is my bubble, and she's all trying to get inside of it right now and trying to dictate what I say to you. But hey, go to my website, find me on Instagram out there, and if you see our posts out there, make sure you comment. Let us know you saw our show. We appreciate that. Go in the comments down below also. And if you have a scenario or something that you're going through, or something you've gone through, you want to know what we think about it, put it down in the comments. Yes. Please, because we want to make sure that we're giving you all we're giving you all information from our perspective that could help you. Like I said before, we don't know what happened behind closed doors, because we don't want all those details.
Give us all the tea.
She wants all of it. She wants yeah, okay. Just make sure it's.
We ain't gonna read the whole tea on here, but we need all the.
And we're not gonna read your name. We're not gonna read your name.
We're not gonna read your name.
We're not gonna put your name out. We're not gonna put your business out there. But all I'm saying is put it out there. We'll be seeing y'all again next week. Same bat channel, same bat time. I probably shouldn't say that because I copyright. Same back and forth channel, same back and forth time. So Chanel, I almost said Janelle. I don't know who that is, but Chanel.
I'm glad you corrected that.
Shit. Grace, extend me some grace.
Yes.
Can you please take us home? Stay safe and be blessed. No.
You were supposed to take us home, Kev. But yes, y'all out here in these summer streets, y'all be safe out here. Make sure you got your sunblock on. Make sure you drinking plenty of water. Make sure you staying safe out here in these streets, okay? But make sure you put God first, though. Make sure you put God first, because you put God first, He gonna make sure you stay safe out here in the streets. All right. So
that's it?
Take us home.
That's it?
Yes. I told you to take us home with the driver's seat, sir.
Awkward. Hey guys, see y'all next week. That's all we got for y'all. We out. Jeez.